Hey, my fellow watchers, how's it going? John Painter here, and welcome to what? Come on, come on, come on, jump! Come on, jump! Jump! So selfish. Alright guys, how's it going? John Painter here, along with my trusty little sidekick Presley, and welcome to what I hope will be the first of many Q&As with yours truly here. Last week I posted a video, of course, with for you guys to ask me any questions whatsoever. Any, it could be just whatever you guys have for me, why I'm doing this or whatever. And you gonna lay down? Here, lay down. Yeah. So this is pretty much it. It's just a straightforward Q&A video answering your guys' questions. I'm just gonna keep this pretty straight and simple. A few texts, letterings, and a few pictures here and there. Mostly because I've been for the last week now, I've been going through some personal things with my family and all that stuff, and that's one of the reasons I'm posting this now. And I'll post my Boob Tube review hopefully either on Saturday or Sunday, depending on how everything is going. Also, I'm also fighting a dispute, fighting a couple of disputes on my YouTube page because of copyright infringement from a couple of songs. Even though I told them it's alright to use them as long as I use them for a review or criticizing, but it may be a bad thing. I mean, I don't know. They're just jealous the way I see it. Alright, so without further ado, let's get things started with the very first question. I posted this video, last week I posted my my announcement video also on my personal Facebook page, and one friend of mine named Ira, he asked me a question. He didn't post it on YouTube because he doesn't have an account. He asked me, and I quote, "Why is it called the Boob Tube?" Good question, Ira. And to answer that, it's simple. It's pretty easy. You ever when you were a kid, you ever watched a lot of television at your grandparents' house, or you were babysitted by your grandparents, and then one of them told you when you were watching TV, they told you, "Stop watching that Boob Tube." I kind of just took that concept and adapted it into a channel, because the way I see it is that Boob Tube, the internet is our modern day version of a Boob Tube. We watch more viral the way I see it, everyone under the age of, I would say, 35 and under watches more viral videos nowadays than television and movies. And because movies nowadays either have shitty sequels, shitty remakes, or just plain shit. And as for television, on the other hand, well, if it's a reality show, it's fucking fake or boring, and I hate fake things personally myself. If it's a drawn out TV show which will be canceled after one season, then what's the point? But and all the other television shows that are popular right now are either based on books, comic books, or other cartoons or other previous nostalgic media-based things. Now that's a bad thing. It's just that if you've seen one, you've seen them all. So that's kind of the reason why I call it the Boob Tube, because we watch more viral media where there's a lot more content, a lot more funny stuff out there than there is on television or in movies. And I call it the Boob Tube because I figure I take that concept of because the most popular viral media out there right now is, of course, YouTube. But the Boob Tube wasn't my first name, my first idea for a channel. I had some other ones, some pretty lame ones, which I have right here on my notes. I had surfing the net. That's dumb. I had troll hunting, channel surfing. I had around the net, the viewer corner. This is what's on, what to watch, and none of them quite clicked like Boob Tube. And I'm proud of that. I'm proud of that channel. I'm still sticking to that until either they pull me off or the day I die. I don't know. Now, I didn't get much questions from my comment section last week, other than Mr. Enigma's Light, and for that I thank you. And And to thank you, Mr. Enigma's Light, here's your channel plug right here. If you ever check his channel out sometime, click on the box right there. He has several questions he wanted to know. One of which was, I'm going to just start from top to bottom. How did you get your YouTube name? By YouTube name, you mean Magnetrex. That's a bit of a long story, but I'm going to try to shorten it. I've been around the internet for a long time, and the thing is that even before viral media was a thing, when I was in high school, we did forum medium and forum chatting and everything else. Even before MySpace was a thing, I was in high school, and one of the very first websites I got addicted to was fanfiction.net and electricferret.net or electricferret.com. I forget which one, but anyways, those websites were like pretty much just fan fiction stories where you just make your own stories and everything else. You post it on the forums. People either like it or they don't, or they just read it, the comment, just basic stuff like that. Fan fiction's still around. Electric Ferret, I believe, has been pulled off the channels for, has closed down for the last 3 or 4 years. But yeah, as for the Magnetrex, it was actually one of my many fan fiction characters that I created a long time ago. Originally, I created a bunch of these superheroes who were called Team X, which was a group of superheroes who would travel to different dimensions, either saving the day or solving stuff. Like, they would travel to a dimension where if the Nazis ruled the world, or a dimension where an alien virus just plagued humanity and they have to save this last batch of humanity and stuff like that. But I know later on Marvel adapted that similar series into Exiles, which was fairly popular for the longest time. Now they got pulled, which I didn't like. I mean, they had potential. But as for Magnetrex, Magnetrex was one of the very names that I had for a character. He was this guy who had the ability to control metal and stuff like that. Like Magneto. I was a teenager at this time. So, and also a funny little story. I was really big into X-Men when the movies first came out. So I found out a little info that one of the X-Men characters, Polaris, who was Magneto's daughter, the green-haired chick, her first original name was Magnetrex with an I. And and it was funny because I figured, no one had, they haven't used that name in such a long time, for 40 years. I figured if I take out the letter I and replace it with another E, Magnetrex, that's all fine. That seemed pretty fun. And just so you know, kids, it ain't copyrighted unless you change a few words here and there. So yeah, that's pretty much how I decided with the name Magnetrex. And ever since then, I kind of just been using that as my username for all of the other websites, popular or not so popular, from MySpace to Newgrounds.com to YouTube for the longest time. I've been meaning I was thinking about changing it back to Magnetrex. I'm not sure yet. Even though it says youtube.com/Magnetrex. I don't know. Fucking Google Plus though. I mean, it says you gotta have a first name and a last name in order to change it. So I don't know. So I'm stuck with the Boob Tube at the moment. And every time I go on my Gmail account or something, it says, "Hey there, the boob." And I was like, I find that a little funny, but Alright. So yeah, that answers your first question, Enigma's Light. Second one, you ask, what else do you do besides YouTube videos? Well, that's a good question. For the longest time, for right now, I currently have a full-time job working over at InShape Health Clubs. Right there, you can check the logo, and I'll pop up a website somewhere below. InShape Health Clubs is it's like the Target store for gyms where people come to work out and everything else, and I'm a lead supervisor. I don't want to get into too much details of my personal life and all that stuff, but I work for InShape Health Clubs as a supervisor for the last year and a half, and it's been pretty well. It's been pretty good. I've been thinking about going into the marketing side of things for InShape Health Clubs, because I heard they have 80 plus gyms up and down the California area, California state, and I hear by next year they're gonna expand to 200 gyms. So I figured I want to do something with that. You know, even before In Shape, I used to work at a radio station, and I used to intern and work at a radio station for 3 years. So for 3 years, I've been excuse me, I gotta get a little water in me. Throat's a little dry. All right. So yeah, for 3 years or so, I worked at a radio station. I don't want to give out too much about it. I worked at a country radio station for the longest time as an audio editor. And the thing is that I wanted to have my own show. That was my ultimate goal in life, was to have a show of my own. So I wanted an afternoon shift, and after 3 years of hard work, I told my station manager that I wanted a shift. You know, I worked my ass off. Here's my demo tape and everything else. He said, I'll consider it. A week later, they hired some other prick from Berkeley and for the afternoon position. And that pissed me off. So I talked to them about it. And in the heat of the moment, I just straight up told them I quit and walked out, or gathered my things and walked out. But it upset me because, you know, you work at a place for a very long time. You expect something in return. You know, you work hard. That's exactly what you get. And, you know, that's the thing. You know, I have principles. I have goals. I mean, I'm not like most of my family members or 3/4 of the people in Lodi, California, or Northern California, I'm sorry, where you work at a job, you make good money, and that's it. I want to do something that I enjoy. I love making shows. I love the editing and everything else. If you were to tell me YouTube was going to be a big thing 5 years ago, I would have gotten on board with it. I would have maybe had like 1,000 subscribers or more. I don't know. I mean, it's just that I'm still getting into the whole YouTube thing. You know, I spent a whole, when I was working at In Shape, when I was working at In Shape for the first year, I spent a good portion of my time learning everything there is to know about viral media and everything else, and pretty much like a personal homework thing. So yeah, what else do I do besides YouTube videos? I work full time at In Shape, and I hopefully in time maybe I'll work in marketing, or someone picks me up for for my YouTube channel, and I'll get hired as a producer for another internet show or something. That would be nice. I would love to do that. That'd be a good thing. I've been making some connections for the last month or so with some really nice people. I don't want to give out too many names and stuff. It's just more or less a work in progress right now. But hopefully in due time, I will get somewhere, you know, with it. And yeah, and I do appreciate you guys out there as well, my subscribers and my fellow watchers as well. I really do appreciate it, you know. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm working my ass off at the gym, and working my ass off on the YouTube channels at the moment. And I do have something planned for StocktonCon as well, which I will address in the coming weeks. So, third question from Mr. Enigma Slight. What editing software do you use? Well, that's a pretty good question, and the answer was quite simple. I currently use Adobe Premiere Pro CSX for my video and audio editing. It's pretty pricey, but at the same time, it's definitely worth it. You know, you get a lot of things done and a lot of good quality editing, and people recommended it to me. And at first, it wasn't the only program. I originally thought about using Sony Vegas Pro or Windows Movie Maker, but you know, Adobe Premiere, they still recommended to me, so I tried it. Great. Now, as for my rendering videos, my edited videos, I use Adobe Media Encoder, which is pretty handy as well. It came with a package deal when I bought this stuff on Amazon for a pricey amount of money. And for my Photoshop stuff, I use just your basic Adobe Photoshop CS5, you know, for the my custom thumbnails and whatnot. And to be honest with you, you know, it's not the greatest, but you know, it's just your basic editing. And I'm really terrible when it comes to Photoshop stuff. But I've been watching more tutorials and everything else on YouTube. You know, how to do this and how to do that on Adobe Photoshop or Adobe Premiere Pro, and I'm kind of collecting those pieces and saving it onto a personal playlist of mine. so I can go back to remember those tutorials if I wanted to do something in particular or something else. Okay, and final question. How many local YouTubers do you know? One. In person? One. And that would be the Launchpad, which I will throw up a channel, a channel plug right here for the Launchpad. It's a comic book store in Lodi, and I know all three of the owners since the very beginning, since they started in Lodi, California. They're a great group of people, great shopping, great place to shop when it comes to comic books and everything else. The co-owners are fantastic people, very friendly, very funny as well. Know a lot of pop culture knowledge as well, from anime stuff to Game of Thrones and even Dungeons and Dragons board gaming. I'm a nerd myself, but the shit they talk about is just mountain of stuff, and I'm just like, whoa, dude, stuff like that. On the internet, not enough local YouTubers, and I should know more. Enigma's Light is one of them. Ruben Mendez, and Super Breakdown, which I believe they're local within the San Joaquin or Sacramento County area. I'm not really sure, but I know them just on the internet-wise, and I'm hoping in due time that when StocktonCon rolls around, I would be glad to meet these guys in person. But in order for me to do that, I have to have another cameraman for me to actually film the stuff inside, because it'll just be me with camera in one hand, cosplay in the other, and I'll just be managing all the stuff. So I'm trying to look for somebody or a good friend of mine to be my so I can pay to be my cameraman for just one day, for like a Saturday or something like that, just so I can get a lot of the good shots. Because I am planning a future for Stockton, like the day after StocktonCon, I'm planning like a week-long, like little video pieces here and there of different little segments and all the good stuff about StocktonCon, stuff like that. So, local YouTubers, just one, the Launchpad in person. On the internet, of course, Enigma's Light, Ruben Mendez, and Super Breakdown on the internet-wise. But I hope to meet them in person. That would be great. If you guys are watching this, hope to see you guys out there in StocktonCon soon. What else is there? And I think that's pretty much it for the day. I was thinking about doing maybe another future Q&A video, but in order for that to happen, I would like... let's try to go for another 50 subscribers. If you guys can go help me get from 54 subscribers to 108 subscribers, and I'm not going to give a time limit or anything. It's just, I'm not going to give it like a timetable or anything. It's just between now and whenever. If you guys can get, I'm doing my part to, try to get, subscribers to my channel, and you guys can help me out as well, and that would be greatly appreciated. So if we go from 54 subscribers to 108 subscribers, I will do another part 2 Q&A. It doesn't matter when, no timetable, no rush or anything like that. Just whenever you guys can, if you want to know more questions. And I will be glad to answer more than 5 questions. But I hope this little piece of information on my end is, I hope it's enough for you guys to understand what I do and why I'm doing this. I do it because I enjoy it. I don't do this for the money. I don't do this for the fame. I just do it because, to be honest with you, no one else is doing this. No one else is doing a review show that reviews other people's internet shows, short films, and everything else. And I figured, why not me? Why can't I be the first? And I know somewhere down the road, some other big-time successful YouTubers or whatever will probably do their own mock show. But I'm just letting you know, I started this first, motherfuckers. No, I'm just joking. So that's pretty much it for now. If we want to do another Q&A, be sure to give me a boost by sharing my video and my channel with any other like-minded reviewers or critics or local YouTubers that you know out there, guys. The goal will be from 54 to... Just remember, the goal will be from 54 subscribers to 108. So, Until then, this has been John Pinner, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.